In this video, we're going to talk about how to do a squat and what to do if you can't squat properly. And then if you want to stick around to the end of this video, I'll show you a couple squat variations that you can do at home or at the gym or wherever you feel most comfortable. The first thing we wanted to look at is the upper body. As you squat, you want your head to be in line with your spine. So imagine drawing a line all the way down your back, and your head should be in line with that line on your back. Now your head can be slightly tilted up like in this image or slightly tilted down, but the bigger issue is that wherever you put your head to start with, you don't want to move it. So imagine like one of those old buildings where there's those gigantic wooden beams that run the entire length of the building. If you break that beam, the whole house is coming down. Kind of the same thing with your spine. You want to fix that spine in the same spot because it is the foundation of your body. If you bend that spine, you're taking away the entire structure. There's nothing to support your body. My second tip is your feet position. You want your weight centered underneath your feet. If your heels or your toes are coming off the ground, you're off balance. My third tip is your knees. Your knees should follow in line with your toes. So your toes are going to be pointed out just slightly, and as you squat, your knees should follow in the direction that your toes are pointing. You don't want your knees going way, way out wide, and you don't want your knees caving in. Alright, so those are 3 quick tips that you can practice to make sure that you're squatting properly. Now, if you can't do those things or you can't squat properly, I'm going to give you some stretches and some exercises that you can try to hopefully help get yourself into that correct position. Now, this is going to take time. It takes months for most people before they can get into this correct squatting position. So don't get discouraged if you after 1 week in the gym, you can't squat properly. It takes time. So that being said, the first one is the hamstring stretch. This is the classic bend down, touch your toes, a hamstring stretch, except I never tell my clients to touch their toes because then they start focusing on touching their toes and not actually stretching. So they'll, bend their knees or around their back, little compensations like that. So I just tell them to bend down as far as they can, and however far that is, then great. The second is the quad stretch. So you're gonna reach back with one hand, grab your ankle, and just gently pull your leg back. Now, the big thing here is that you don't want to let your leg come out to the side or do any really funky angles, because then you're kind of bypassing the stretch, or you're putting stress on muscles and joints that you don't want to be putting stress on. Now, I have some clients that don't have the flexibility to do this, so I have to get a little creative and come up with some other quad stretches. If you're in that category, then another one that I really like to do is this one here, where you take a knee and you can put like a weight bench off to the side to hold on to support, or grab like a bar. This is just like a little training bar that my gym provides to offer stability, and so things like that. Another stretch that I do is simply squat. So I do different variations of this, but probably the most basic one would be like a wall sit, where you lean up against a wall and just kind of slowly sink your body weight down until you can get into that squat position. And then each time I do this, just go a little bit further and a little bit further until eventually you have a squat at the proper depth. Another one that I like to do, this is kind of a fun variation, the TRX squat. Now, I like doing this with my clients because it's just something fun, something different. It's a little creative. They seem to enjoy it. So I know there are a lot of people who may say, it's not a good exercise because it doesn't properly mimic like a barbell squat, and that's true, but it does stretch the muscles that we're trying to get stretched and get them into that squat position. So I'm not really worried about the balance here. I'm just trying to find something fun and creative for my clients to get down to that proper squat depth. So if you have access to a TRX squat, then this is a great alternative, and having that rope or those handles in front of them kind of gives them kind of the courage they need to squat to depth, because they know they kind of have those handles in front of them as a safety catch, so they're not going to fall backwards. And the final exercise you can do is find a pole, or in this example here, like the side of a squat cage to hold on to, and just practice squatting. Alright, so before I let you go, I know this was a super quick video, so if you have questions on anything that I talked about, or you want me to go more in depth, please leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to help you out. And if you found this useful, consider subscribing and leave me a like by hitting that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Now before you go, I'll give you a couple fun little squat alternatives like I promised at the beginning of the video. So hopefully you enjoy these, and I will see you guys next time.